I'm mad at you, DC. You're saying that my work doesn't warrant it. I'm the first ever woman to win the Ultimate Fighter. I've torn 4 out of 5 ligaments in my knee and came back from that, actually both knees. I gave birth and had a baby and came back from that. I have been clawing and scratching my way up to the top and been in this division since 2013 when they first allowed women to join the UFC. And, you know, I did everything that I said I was going to do leading up to that fight. DC, you've had 10 title fights, bro. Like, why you hating on me for wanting to get a trilogy?
Super grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I am excited. I am ready. And tomorrow night is going to be fireworks. Don't forget to get your popcorn. Sorry, excuse me.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Julianna Peña still thinks she deserves a trilogy with the greatest female fighter of all time, Amanda Nunes. After pulling out of UFC 289 after getting her arm nearly snapped by Kayla Harrison, Peña isn't backing down. She's making one last desperate plea to complete the most unlikely trilogy in UFC history. But is it confidence or complete delusion?
Haven't had many, you know, I just know where I stand. The champ, Amanda, doesn't have a fight, and former champ, soon to be and new champ, does not have a fight. So I feel like that's the only fight to make. That's the only fight that makes sense for me. And that's the only fight that I see in my future. They're making Brandon Figueiredo versus Moreno for Pete's sake, you know. I feel like I finished her the first time. I ran out of time the second time, and I allowed her that opportunity to make those adjustments and to go back and you know, change those things in that camp in the rematch. I absolutely feel like, you know, the kosher thing to do would allow me to make the same adjustment.
You see that gigantic right hand that she's knocking everybody out with, you know, that's fluff. You just go right into it, you know, and that's not something that normal people are like, okay, I can't wait. You know, it's like, that's scary. That's a scary reality that you're going to know that you have to go take that head on, eat it like it's a Scooby snack and keep coming forward. And not a lot of people are built that way. I am built that way. I'm not the type of fighter to retreat. I am the wall that gets bashed up against when it's time to meet that fire with fire, and I will not retreat.
She got dominated again, tapped out, humiliated, and yet, somehow, Julianna Peña still thinks she deserves a trilogy with the greatest female fighter of all time, Amanda Nunes. After pulling out of UFC 289 after getting her arm nearly snapped by Kayla Harrison, Peña isn't backing down. She's making one last desperate plea to complete the most unlikely trilogy in UFC history. But is it confidence or complete delusion? Ever since Peña shocked the world at UFC 269 and submitted Amanda Nunes, she's been obsessed with the idea of a trilogy, but when the rematch came, it was a massacre. Nunes ragdolled Peña for 5 brutal rounds. Then, just when the trilogy was set for UFC 289, Peña pulled out. Nunes took on Irene Aldana instead and retired on top, but Peña didn't let it go. Even with Nunes walking off into the sunset, Julianna kept chirping, kept pushing, kept dreaming of that final dance. Then came UFC 316. Peña finally got her chance, not at Amanda, but at the woman. Nunes said she'd return for Kayla Harrison, and it went from bad to worse. Kayla didn't just win, she submitted Peña a brutal Kimura at 322 of round 1. The same woman who called herself the real champ got shut down by a UFC rookie. And yet, she's still talking title shots, still gunning for the GOAT?
Contra a Juliana, mas até o final do ano eu serei a campeã do UFC. Vamos para a sua próxima luta, parabéns e uma estreia espetacular. Apenas quero agradecer ao meu Senhor Jesus Cristo, a Juliana, eu amo vocês, Deus abençoe a América, Estados Unidos.
You know, now that she's come in the UFC and she's actually won the belt and fought her way up, and you know, Amanda, people respect what Amanda did here, so I agree with you. It felt big. It was a badass day, and it was all organic. None of that was fake. We had no intentions of her going up into the octagon. I actually had to tell the guys to let her up. They weren't even letting her in. So yes.
Nunes saw it all and she laughed. The Lioness didn't even flinch, because to her this was never about Peña. This comeback? It's about Kayla Harrison, a true Olympian, a real threat, and Dana White knows it. Kayla versus Nunes is the money fight Peña. She's not even in the conversation anymore. Still, Peña isn't done. After getting smoked by Kayla, she still had the nerve to call out the Nunes-Harrison winner. Why? Because in her mind, she's still the woman who submitted the Lioness, but in reality, that was one flash of glory in a sea of beatdowns. And now, after injuries, missed opportunities, and another submission loss, her credibility is in shambles. So here's the truth. The UFC doesn't need Julianna Peña anymore. Not when Nunes versus Harrison is right there. Not when Peña's own performance proves she's not the top dog. She had her shot. She shocked the world. But now, she's just chasing ghosts. Do you think Peña deserves the trilogy, or is she clinging to a fantasy? Drop your take in the comments, subscribe for more fight chaos, and buckle up. Because Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison is the real main event.
Two-ranked bantamweight contender, Kayla Harrison.
Kayla Harrison attempting to make, I should say, let's give it a few seconds here, making 135. There it is, 135.0 for the first time in her career. I mean, that right there is the first most important thing for her to have success.
Amanda, who do you got this weekend, and who would you rather fight after the fight's over?
I have Kayla by decision, and honestly, I'm a champion, you know? Either one, I'm gonna be ready for.
You were talking about how if Kayla Harrison wins, you would come back and fight her. If Julianna wins, would you still come back and entertain a third fight with her?
Definitely. I miss you so much. My baby's big now, so she always sleep at night. We have trouble at home, so I was very concerned about that because we need sleep as a fighter. We need sleep. We need rest. And now my baby's big, and I'm ready to go. Kayla or Julianna, I'm gonna be ready. Actually, I'm ready to stay here. So we're gonna take the belt back. I'm gonna defend as long as possible. As long as my body can handle, I'm gonna be here.
Okay.
So let's go.
John?
Now that she's come in the UFC and she's actually won the belt and fought her way up, Amanda, people respect what Amanda did here. So I agree with you. It felt big. It was a badass stint. It was all organic. None of that was fake. We had no intentions of her going up into the octagon. I actually had to tell the guys to let her up. They weren't even letting her in. So yes.
Kayla Harrison called her out. Amanda Nunes stared her down. Dana White teased it. But now the mega fight might be dead. Kayla Harrison is ready to fight right now. Amanda Nunes is already back in the testing pool. But the UFC just told both of them, no fight unless you play by the rules. And here's the twist. Those rules, they can be bought off for a small fee. At least that's what Kayla said. But now it looks like Dana White refused. And the question is, why? Today we break down the beef, the testing pool controversy, and whether Amanda Nunes is making a huge mistake by coming back at all.
Kayla, there she is.
What's up, guys?
Are we any closer to you versus Amanda?
Soon.
Soon. What, you think Madison Square Garden in New York or?
Maybe, if she's
Maybe.
ready.
So is Amanda back in the testing pool?
I think so. I think she just got tested.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, well, you're the go, and it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate you.
At UFC 318, Kayla Harrison didn't just win the belt. She hijacked the entire division. She made it crystal clear, I don't care about the 6-month testing wait, I'll pay the fee. Let's fight now. But here's the catch. The UFC isn't under USADA anymore. They've got their own program now, and Dana White. He could have bent the rules, but he didn't.
And just wondering if you saw Amanda Nunes' reaction to
I did. I like it. I thought she retired too soon anyway. I like that she's intrigued by this fight. I love it. I think she's the GOAT in all combat sports, female. So if Kayla can get in there and win a title, it would absolutely be fun to see her come back and try to grab it again. And then it's one of those things, and she's brilliant. She's brilliant for this because She's already looked at as the GOAT, right? And then you have this scary new woman that comes in and she destroys Holly Holm. Can she win the title? Can she get through Peña and Raquel? And if she does, for her to come back again and then possibly win this fight, it's impossible to deny her.
He was tempted, but someone, maybe the lawyers, maybe the money guys, said no.
135, the official weight for the champion Amanda Nunes. 135 pounds, the official weight for Irene Aldana.
Amanda Nunes retired at the top, double champ, on her own terms. But now she's back in the testing pool. She's even passed her first drug test already, but don't celebrate yet. That means no fight until January 2026 unless she gets an exemption. And it looks like the UFC won't give her one. The dream fight with Kayla, delayed, maybe even denied. So why come back at all? Here's the part the UFC won't show you. After a year, I started having anxiety. I didn't want to be here. That's right. The Lioness broke mentally. Retirement didn't free her. It destroyed her. She said she needed structure, needed purpose, but now she's risking her entire legacy just to feel normal again. Just ask Henry Cejudo how that comeback went.
If your wish doesn't get granted of Amanda coming back to fight you, how big do you really think that Kayla Harrison fight could be? Because if we're honest, I mean, she does have a lot of hype around herself. You just got the belt back, so how big could that fight be in your opinion?
Yes, if Amanda cowers away again and does not come back and fight me, then yes, you're absolutely right. Kayla brings a lot of eyeballs and a lot of attention to the sport, and I love that.
Kayla isn't Peña. She isn't Aldana. She's a judo killer, and she just dominated a former champ in her UFC debut. Nunes may have the GOAT status, but Kayla has youth, hunger, and zero respect for legacy. She's calling out Nunes like she's just another stepping stone. Kayla Harrison says, "I'll fight her now. Pay the fee. Let's go. I'll whoop her ass." Here's the dark reality. This fight may never happen. Nunes can't fight for 6 months without an exemption. Kayla doesn't want to wait, and Dana White's not budging. So what happens now? Do we get Nunes versus Peña 3, or does Kayla Harrison move on and call out Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili, or even a men's division fighter just to keep the hype alive? So let's get real. Is the UFC protecting Amanda Nunes by not letting her fight early? Should they let Kayla Harrison pay to skip the testing rules? Or is Dana White secretly hoping this whole mess just goes away? Let us know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button if you want to see Kayla versus Nunes in 2025, drug test or not.
Like she's going to reign at the top of the division for a long time. I know we've got...
You think she'll beat Nunes?
I do think she'll beat Nunes, yeah. Wow. I do think she'll beat Nunes.
I have a belt. She has a legacy. Let's put it on the table.
She is absolutely jacked, Kayla Harrison. And I just don't think... I think that strong base that she's got...
You're celebrating, you invite Amanda into the octagon and everything. Was that something that you were hoping and like wanting to happen to actually come in there?
No, I mean, it wasn't like a planned thing. I mean, in my head, this is what I want. And I saw her on the Jumbotron and I was like, let's make some, what do the kids call it? You know, aura magic or aura farm. I don't know what the hell they call it. Let's make some promotional magic right here. So I said, come on, let's go, girl.
Yeah, I think it worked out great.
Tom Aspinall just said what no one in MMA dared to say out loud. He thinks Kayla Harrison will beat Amanda Nunes. Not just fight her, not just survive her, but beat her dominantly. Is the GOAT era over before the comeback even begins? Or is this the most dangerous super fight in women's MMA history? And with Kayla now holding UFC gold and Nunes officially back in training, things are about to get violent.
When I talk about a mountain, you know, I really think that there's no peak. It's just every step every day I want to wake up and be the best possible version of myself. And I'm grateful to Julianna because she's bringing out another newer, better version of me. And after I whoop her ass, I'm coming for Amanda.
What do you know? What do you say? Kayla, how are you going to beat me like I asked you the last time? Are you going to lay on top of me and cook the clock for 25 minutes? Because that is literally your only chance to victory. That's your only chance to beat me is lay on top of me for 25 minutes.
You've been stopped 3 times. Okay. You're 11-5.
It doesn't
You've
matter.
lost more fights than I've lost rounds.
6 fights that I've taken in order to get and fight the best in the world. I'll take that all day over your 20 fights that it's taken you to get to here right now.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, we are.
She's got it. It's over. Kayla Harrison is the new bantamweight champion.
Fitting that you're here. We just talked